You know, I think it's time that I do an updated vinyl collection video. It's been a little bit over a year since my last one, and I've got quite a few new records since then. Starting it off here with XO by Elliott Smith. I did a reaction to this on the channel. If you haven't seen that, go check it out. Yeah, this was one of the first Elliott albums that like really clicked for me. I don't return to it as much as some of his other stuff. Like I actually do really love his, self-titled record now. I mean, Either Or is great as well. But yeah, this one is great as well. A little bit more poppy, I feel like, within the context of his discography, but still pretty great. We got Fulfillingness, First Finale by Stevie Wonder. Hot take, this is Stevie's best album, in my opinion. Now, Songs in the Key of Life is great, it's a classic. It is held in high regard for a reason, but in terms of something that I want to come back to the most often, this is the Stevie album for me. I mean, I love the vocal performances on this thing. I think it's his most tight and memorable tracks. Songs in the Key of Life is a little bit, sprawling. That's kind of what I love about it, but, it does make it harder to return to. This is a little bit of a tighter track list. I got this for like 15 bucks. I mean, it's a little bit, like you can tell, a little bit beat, a little bit used. Yeah, just a great Stevie album. Stevie is one of my favorite artists of all time. Next up, we got a record that I got pretty recently. This is Imaginal Disc by Magdalena Bay. This was a top 3 album for me from last year. I mean, it's produced fantastically. The synths sound amazing on this thing. The atmosphere is crazy. Love this cover too, by the way. Super psychedelic. You got what? I don't know the duo's name, but you got the other guy on the back here. Beautiful kind of psychedelic art in the middle here as well. So had to pick this up. Love this record. Next up, we got some Charli. We got Charli XCX, How I'm Feeling Now. I go back and forth between this and Brat for her best album, but as recently, I think How I'm Feeling Now is feeling like my favorite. Yeah, this was recorded, during the pandemic, during COVID. So a lot of these songs deal in, themes of isolation and wanting to get out there and have fun, but not being able to. Love the kind of hyper pop, abrasive production on this thing. It's very bubbly. It's very sweet at times as well. So had to get this. This was actually the How I'm Feeling Now, was it the 5-year? Yeah, the 5-year anniversary release that I think dropped with the Party For You music video. So had to pick it up. Great album. All right, next up, a little bit of a, everybody knows this album. Neutral Milk Hotel, In the Aeroplane Over the Sea. This is a 10 out of 10 album for me. It's actually been a while since I've listened to it, but just a one-of-a-kind vocalist, and I love the kind of fuzzy, folky production on this record, so I had to pick it up. Thematically, it's very interesting as well. A lot of, backstory and lore, I guess, to this album, and yeah, just a one-of-a-kind record for sure, so I had to pick this up. Next up, we got In a Silent Way by Miles Davis. I think this is more my speed compared to something like Kind of Blue by Miles Davis. Obviously, that record's amazing, but I do like how this album kind of fuses, electronic elements. And, an interesting track list on this one where I think it's, just three tracks, 3 pretty long tracks, which isn't like, that's pretty standard for jazz at this time. But yeah, this record sounds unreal for 1959, I think, is the year on this. Probably the oldest vinyl that I own. Got to get more jazz in the collection, and I feel like this is, a pretty good place to start. Next up, we got some more Charli. We got Charli XCX, Crash. A pretty underrated album, in my opinion. This has grown on me quite a bit. Yeah, I think I was a little bit underwhelmed with my first reaction to this. It is a little bit more of a watered down Charli. It's more her trying to go for like these, these smash pop hits. So maybe it's not a lot of people's speed with how it's a little bit more formulaic in that way, but still the production on this album is fantastic. These songs just live in my brain, bro. They're so catchy. Charli sounds fantastic with the vocals on this album. And I mean, there's some great features too. You got Caroline on here. You got freaking Rina Sawayama. You got so many great features on this album, so I had to pick it up. Next up, we got Vespertine by Björk, a beautiful art pop record with some, otherworldly production. This is probably still my favorite Björk album to date. I love this cover, by the way. I didn't even realize that there was this like graphic of like a swan. Is that what that is? Looks like it's a swan. And I didn't even realize it said Vespertine here until I bought this vinyl, you know? It's just, what a cover, man. What a cover, what an album. The art on this is so interesting. Just unreal vocals. Such a talented artist. So had to get a little bit of Björk, I don't know. Next up, we got some more King Gizzard. I've got a lot of King Gizzard in the collection, which like I actually don't listen to King Gizzard that much outside of, you know, listening to these, but this is Gumboot Soup. This is one that I really enjoyed on a first listen. What I remember from this is that it's a little bit more just like psych rock, I feel like. You know, sometimes they cover a ton of different genres in their music. Sometimes they do some metal stuff, but I think like this is kind of the stuff that I prefer more from King Gizzard. And I love this cover, by the way. And the texture on this vinyl is like a papery kind of texture. Yeah, just really cool packaging here. I love how, you know, King Gizzard's vinyls are always presented. There's always, you know, tons of thought put into it. So there you go. I gotta listen to this more. The Last Oasis is definitely the song I think that I remember the most off this album. Definitely a more like kind of laid back record from King Giz. So there you go. Next up, more Charli XCX. We got Brat. You know, I had to get it. One of the best albums of last year. Sure, is it talked about a lot? Yeah, but I don't think it's overhyped. I think it deserves every bit of hype that it gets. This album is fantastic. You know, just iconic marketing to go along with it too. You got Charli posted up here just chilling. So yeah, and actually the packaging for this vinyl in general is very interesting. I mean, come on. Love the text layout of that. That looks so sick. But there's actually like where's the lyric sheet? Or these aren't the lyrics, but these are like the liner notes, the credits, I guess. Kind of, you know, done on this like printing paper. I don't know what you would call this, but a very, you know, kind of DIY feel to it. I have this beautiful lyric booklet that is very what does it remind me of? It reminds me of like Urban Outfitters for some reason. It feels like something you'd see in that store. But I just love the text layouts of the lyrics for each track here. Very creative. This green is crazy, bro. It looks so good. Next up, we got an interesting record here. Violent Femmes, We Can Do Anything. I actually hadn't heard this before I bought this vinyl. I'd heard their self-titled record from 1983, which I loved. Just like crazy, visceral, acoustic guitar energy on that album, very unhinged. So I was, you know, hopeful that this would be similar, but I actually don't love this album. I think it's from 2016, and I feel like it just kind of loses the spark of what was so special about the self-titled. It feels just like a bunch of middle-aged guys that are trying to, you know, to spark the life into the band, and I don't know, it just feels, it didn't work for me. So I took a risk on that one. Didn't love the album itself, but next up, we got JPEG Mafia, All My Heroes Are Cornballs. This is actually like an alternate cover from the one that you see on Spotify. Love the fit on the back here. That's so sick. This is actually probably the Peggy album that I return to the least, but, you know, it's the record stores that I have near me, they're not really carrying Peggy that often, so it's like I had to get this, you know. But yeah, it's still a great album, just one that I don't return to as much in comparison to something like LP or Scare in the Hose or even Veteran. I feel like I go to Veteran more, but, you know, it's still great. All right, we got Marvin Gaye, What's Going On? One of the best soul and R&B albums of all time, just one of the best albums of all time, period. One of the first, like, you know, socially conscious, I guess, R&B albums. Love the lyrics on this thing. Love Marvin's voice on this thing. One of the best vocalists ever, in my opinion. His vocals are buttery on this album, so had to pick this thing up. There is really like some heartfelt messaging in the actual vinyl here too on the inside. You know, you see a collage of like all his family and whatnot, and then like the little blurb that I'm assuming he wrote himself here just like showcases his personality in a way that I feel like you don't necessarily get through the music. Just seems like a very funny guy. All right, we got a few more. We got like 10 more, maybe 8 more. Next up, we got some more Stevie Wonder, Talking Book. This, where would this rank? This is probably top 4 for me. Yeah, I feel like this has a good amount of like classic Stevie tracks, really recognizable, well-known Stevie tracks. I don't think it's one that I come back to as often as Songs in the Key of Life or Fulfilling This First Finale. But, I mean, what do you got on here? You got You Are the Sunshine of My Life. You got Superstition. You know, the groove on that one is crazy. Yeah, I mean, it's great. It's Stevie Wonder. Love this image here of that sunset. Beautiful, beautiful image. All right, next up, we got one of my favorite albums of all time. 10 out of 10 album, in my opinion. Nick Drake, Pink Moon. What a cover on this thing. First off, look at the art on this. Look at this sad boy up here. Just beautifully kind of surreal, you know, cover art to this. Love the back of it as well. Love the colors. But yeah, the music itself, you know, extremely stripped back, acoustic, usually just his voice and a guitar, sometimes a piano in there as well. Some of the best songwriting of all time. A, you know, horrifyingly lonely and depressing album, but, you know, really beautiful and intimate at the same time, with some of like the best guitar parts, in my opinion, of all time. Apparently, my brother has said that like the reason his guitar sounds so unique is like the tuning. Maybe it's like an open tuning, is that what it's called? I don't know. Or maybe it's the certain type of guitar he has. I don't know, but there's a certain reason why Nick Drake's guitar is so unique and one of a kind. All right, next up, we got a prog rock classic, I guess you could call it, Close to the Edge by Yes. I recently listened to this for the first time like a couple months ago. Was absolutely blown away by it, so I had to pick it up. Love this cover too, by the way. Love the green, and that font is so sick. I have heard this like 1.5 times. I'm excited to listen to it more. I gotta actually, you know, spin this on vinyl at least once. So don't know too much about it other than the fact that it sounds freaking amazing. So next up, we got Fiona Apple, The Idler Wheel. Not gonna say the whole title, but this is my favorite Fiona record. Shout out to Jeff from Movie Husbands. He put me onto this. If you guys haven't seen my video with him, we talked about our favorite albums of all time. And then we did a video where we talked about our favorite movies of all time on his channel. So yeah, he got me into this. I love this album. Easily my favorite Fiona. It feels like her most powerful, her most to-the-point songs, but also some of her most like jarring and jagged songs as well. She is a one-of-a-kind vocalist, and just some really exciting ideas on here. So I had to pick this up. I forgot about this kind of like, you know, smudged abstract artwork on the inside here as well. Very, very beautiful. All right, next up, we got another great singer-songwriter album from last year, Adrian Lenker, Bright Future. I think Songs by Adrian Lenker is, you know, one of my favorite albums of all time. I don't think this quite lives up to that album, but I mean, just an unreal album full of some of the most heart-wrenching songs you're ever gonna hear. The first track on this album it lets you know what you're gonna be in for. It hits you upside the head, the first track on this. I mean, emotionally, like it is. It's rough, but Regal House is what it's called. Sadness as a Gift, banger. You know, the alternate version of Vampire Empire, so good. Look at this beautiful, sweet little artwork in here. Is this a poster? Yeah, it is. Look at this cute little poster, guys. You know, that kind of collage style. All right, one that I actually just picked up today, Depeche Mode, Violator. The texture to this vinyl is so sick. It's like this buttery smooth, very almost like felt like texture. Yeah, this is just a great kind of, I was gonna say like 80s synth pop album, but it's actually 1990, I believe. Some of the best production in this style of music that I've ever heard. Policy of Truth is like one of my favorite songs of all time. That song is insane. Enjoy the Silence, banger. Halo, banger. So catchy, but so like dark and dingy. I just love the atmosphere to the production on this album. So I had to pick this up, and oh, I didn't realize there's a naked lady. Okay, but yeah, love this album. This is definitely like a dad-core album. This is one that I heard a lot growing up from my dad. But yeah, it holds up. You know, going back to it now, it sounds fantastic. It's produced like so good. All right, last Elliott Smith vinyl of the video. We got Elliott Smith, Either Or, probably most people's pick for his best album. I think it's his best produced album for sure. I think it's not one that I return to as much as something like I'm returning to his first, like not his first album, but the self-titled album. I'm returning to that a lot, as well as Figure 8. But, you know, this is great as well. You know, singer-songwriter vibes, sad boy vibes. All right, up next, we got Panda Bear Person Pitch. This is from 2007. This, I think the same vocalist from, you know, Animal Collective. So this is kind of like a very psychedelic pop, abstract, dreamy record. There's a lot of, you know, weird experimentation on this album, and I love it. It's pretty great. You know, I feel like I gotta go back to Animal Collective stuff, because honestly, I prefer this, and Panda Bear also dropped an album this year that I really love, but like from what I remember, I prefer this more than most of Animal Collective's stuff, but maybe I gotta go back to it. Maybe that's a crazy take. You gotta listen to it in good headphones because the production here is really, really breathtaking. All right, and the last record. This was a lot to go through. I'm kind of tired. Talking Heads, Remain in Light. Just a great, you know, 80s kind of new wave album from Talking Heads, an iconic band that I need to start getting into more. I did recently watch Stop Making Sense, you know, the live concert movie, and I loved that. That was like unreal, and it's like slowly starting, you know, slowly sparking a newfound love for Talking Heads. So yeah, I'm gonna start going back to this album more. There's a couple albums that I still need to hear from Talking Heads, but yeah, this one's great. I love the grooves on this album. It feels like their most cohesive album in my opinion, but also like their most adventurous in terms of the sounds that are going on here. So there you go. David Byrne, one of the coolest frontmen you know, ever. His vocals are great. His dance moves, especially in Stop Making Sense, were freaking hilarious. Just a very funny, you know, authentic and unique character. That is the vinyl collection update. Quite a bit of new stuff here. I'm always trying to, you know, not break the bank too bad, but like try and keep it updated a little bit and try and get new stuff. I might do another one of these, you know, maybe a year from now if I continue to buy some more records, but I guess we'll see. If you guys enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.